Wherever in this world I roam, I carry memories of my home. This blade. It is.
Grab yourself a welfare meal.
Ad Astra Abyssosk. Welcome to the Adventurers Guild.
There are leaves around, and I know just the tune to accompany them, if you wish to hear it. This scenery is wonderful. Surely enough to convince anyone to become a wanderer. There are leaves around, and I know just the tune to accompany them, if you wish to hear it.
Traveler? Paimon? Huh, looks like you're running a business. Oh, hey, Diona! And Tone Deaf Bard. What brings you to the shop?
I could smell what you were brewing from all the way across Cider Lake. Bards have an extremely keen sense of smell, you know.
Again with the nonsense. Don't listen to him. We were actually in the middle of looking for some cocktail ingredients. Margaret is getting ready to run a new promotion at the Cocktail, so she asked me to come up with some new drink ideas. The bard over here is performing at the event. When he saw me getting ready to leave, he insisted on tagging along to help.
Well, what better way to be the first to try your new concoction than by helping you collect ingredients?
Well, that explains your enthusiasm then. You're only that generous when alcohol is involved. Anyway, I was having some trouble coming up with new ideas for ingredients to use. I've already experimented with just about every ingredient you can find around Mondstadt, even the weirdest ones. The bar saw me struggling and told me he had an idea, so we split up for a while. I didn't get my hopes up, but sure enough, he came back a little while later with a rare ingredient I'd never used before. Ooh, what is it? Some sort of secret? Come on, bring it out so we can see.
It's a bird feather I found on a ruin in Dragonspine. It was once buried in the snow and is still cold to the touch even now. I'm sure it could be used to produce a drink with an entirely new sort of mouthfeel.
Whoa. Well, if anyone can find something like that, Paimon supposes it'd be you. Unfortunately, this ingredient is not easy to find. We'll probably use up the measly amount we've discovered with just the recipe testing alone.
Don't worry about the ingredients, Diona. I'll figure something else out. You should head back so you can get a head start on working that mixology magic of yours.
Uh-huh, because the sooner I get started, the sooner you get to take advantage of the fruits of my labor. Isn't that right?
Well, just think of it as a way to pay me in advance for all my hard work.
That still doesn't solve our problem, though. Traveler, Paimon, do you have any ideas for a new drink? Huh? Infused drinks with different effects? But doesn't that bring us back to the ingredient problem all over again? Oh, Paimon gets what she's saying! Ahem. You're looking at one of the most popular duos on the Mondstadt alchemy scene right now. Our potions are one of the hottest commodities in Teyvat! But what do potions have to do with drinks? You can add them as an ingredient, of course! Potions can add all sorts of different effects! For example, with a little alchemy on your side, you could even make a drink that can heal a broken heart. Wow! I never knew potions could do something like that. I see. How about a potion that makes people never want to drink alcohol again? Could you make something like that? Whoa. Don't go making promises we can't keep, Traveler. How are we supposed to make a potion like that? Ugh, what a shame. And here I thought I'd finally be able to dismantle the entire Mondstadt wine industry in one fell swoop. It's okay. We'll try to see if we can find some other ways to help.
Actually, I've always been curious, Diona. Is there a particular reason you don't like alcohol?
Isn't it obvious? Ever been around a drunk person before? Let me tell you, it's not a pleasant experience.
Ah, so your gripe isn't really with alcohol itself, but the fact that it makes people drunk. This may sound a little weird, but I wonder if it's possible to use this mysterious alchemy craft of yours to make a drink that prevents people from getting intoxicated.
So you mean a potion that can keep someone sober and awake? Huh. Sounds like something we could do. What do you say, Traveler? Perfect! I can just see it now. The more alcohol those drunkards consume, the more sober they'll become. They'll finally have to say bye-bye to their days of drunken depravity. It's decided then. Please make me a potion that can keep people sober.
Gotta say, I'm starting to get really curious about what that drink's going to taste like. If alchemy has the power to transform matter, I wonder if it could also be used to turn water into wine? Wouldn't it be amazing if all the water in Cider Lake turned into actual cider? In that case, at least, no matter how short on more I am, I'd never be short on liquor. A fine alternative. Who would I be to refuse such a generous invitation? We'll go as soon as your work is finished. How does that sound?
You really haven't changed at all. Just the mention of alcohol practically has you chomping at the bit.
Well, it's not every day I get the chance to reunite with such dear friends. What's a reunion without a generous serving of wine?
How's the potion coming? Finished yet? can't believe I'm holding the key to shaking up Mondstadt's entire wine industry in my own 2 hands! Wowza! Thank you so much. Oh, I'm gonna head back and start developing my new drinks right away!
Wait, don't leave without me. I thought you were gonna let me be the taste tester.
Of course! Operation Eliminate Drunkards has just begun, and you, my friend, are my first test subject!
And just like that, another problem solved. Looks like you've done it again, Traveler and Paimon.
Alcohol that doesn't make you drunk. Ooh, if I'm able to develop something like that, I guess there really is a type of alcohol that I can get behind.
Wherever in this world I roam, I carry memories of my home. This blade, it is the last link I have to the land of my birth. This scenery is wonderful. Surely enough to convince anyone to become a one.
Traveler, Paimon, how has the potion making been going lately?
Sucrose, you're back!
I should have known. You really do have a talent for alchemy. I'm sure this exam will also be a walk in the park for you. Well, ready to begin? If you're ready, let's go ahead and proceed with the intermediate exam. Let me see. Yep. Looks like your potion meets the requirements. You've passed once again.
We're getting pretty good at this!
I'm so glad I asked for your help. Please, take this for your trouble.
Wherever in this world I roam, I carry memories of my home. This blade. It is the last link I have to the land of my... There are leaves around, and I know just the tune to accompany them, if you wish to hear it. Wherever...
Hello, everyone.
Whoa, is that Master D-Luke?
Oh, D-Luke. What's someone as busy as you doing in this neck of the woods?
Elzer told me the Knights launched a new commercial endeavor that turned out to be quite the hit. I think he was a bit surprised by the level of success, so he told me to come check it out. But seeing as you two are the ones in charge, I'm really not surprised at all. The Knights definitely chose the most reliable people for the job.
Elzer is the manager of Dawn Winery, right? Huh, Paimon thought he didn't get out much. Wonder how he heard about our shop. Wait, are we that famous already?
No need to sound so surprised. The winery keeps us all very busy. Elzer only takes the time to brief me with this sort of intel if he thinks we are faced with a real threat. In such a short amount of time, you've been able to establish complete production and supply lines, and even receive orders from all around Teyvat. If you were in the wine business, you'd already be one of our biggest rivals.
What? Threat? Rival? level.
Oh, you sure seem eager, cutie. Looks like you really want to go toe-to-toe with the #1 wine merchant in all of Mondstadt. Are you just itching to see whose business prowess would come out on top?
A competition with the Traveler. That's not a bad suggestion. You're extremely knowledgeable and well-traveled. If we were to become competitors, I'm sure you'd throw many a challenge my way. Probably even some I've never faced before. But I was really just using the wine industry as an example to emphasize your success. Our two industries aren't exactly fighting for the same market space. Actually, the success of your potion shop is good for the winery's business.
Good for your business? Paimon's lost. You were just talking about how the two industries were separate and now they're suddenly connected?
It's a bit convoluted. Alcohol is a commodity that most people consume in their free time. In order to have free time, though, you have to get off work early. For the alcohol industry to thrive, consumers need to have both the time and the money to spend.
That's exactly right. Your potions allow people to work more efficiently. As they get more popular, people will be able to complete their work faster. The more free time people have, the bigger the market there is for a commodity like mine.
Oh, that makes sense. It's hard to be in the mood to go out and enjoy life if you're super busy all the time. Paimon never thought about it that way before. There sure are a lot of layers to running a business. Guess this means we're in the Mora-making business together then. Hey, why don't you try out one of our potions?
I do have quite the interest in the effects of alchemical potions. Well, since you offered, please make a potion that can reduce the anxieties of the user while also improving their attention to detail.
Reduce anxiety while also improving the user's attention to detail? That almost sounds a little contradictory to me. I must admit to being curious. If my cuties do manage to make this potion for you, D-Luke, how exactly do you intend to use it?
Well, I mentioned before that people with ample free time are an important consumer base for my industry. But actually, the same is true for people who are incredibly busy and overwhelmed with work. After a period of high stress, like a busy workday, it can take a while for people to fully decompress. It's also common for that type of stress to leave people so exhausted that all they can do is spend the rest of the day in a daze. That level of stress and exhaustion makes it hard for people to derive pleasure from things they usually enjoy, like relishing the flavor of their favorite food and drink.
You can say that again. Paimon's definitely been there before. Sometimes, after a really long day, Paimon will be so tired, but she just can't relax. Not even her favorite snacks would hit the spot like they usually do.
Oh, my poor little cuties. Sounds like things can get quite tough out on the road. You know what? You just earn yourself some extra snacks at our upcoming tea party. Once this is all over, I'll personally see to it that you get the chance for a proper rest.
So basically, you need us to make a potion that decreases tension but increases attention, so that people can enjoy the finer things in life no matter how busy or stressed they are. Did Paimon get that right?
Exactly. Wine is meant to be savored. Drinking it without being able to appreciate its subtle notes and characteristics is a loss not just for the winemaker, but for the consumer as well. If we can increase the alertness of those too exhausted to perceive the subtle notes, but decrease the restlessness of those too agitated to raise their glass, then we can be sure to reach a point of balance where all can enjoy their wine to the fullest extent.
Well, it's definitely a unique request. Seems like this would be a tricky challenge for any potion maker. We should get to thinking then. First things first, let's figure out what ingredients to use.
How's the potion coming? Have you finished? Not to worry. I know you're a trustworthy partner. With such individuals, I can be patient for as long as you need. How's the potion coming? Have you finished?
We're finished with the potion, Master D-Luke! Please give it a try!
Oh, I thought you might need more time. But it looks like you've already found the solution. Nice job. Wow. The effect is even more apparent than I imagined. Your many talents just keep on surprising me. On behalf of Dawn Winery, I would like to make a bulk purchase order for this potion. Oh, and don't worry about the delivery side of things. Elzer will send someone to pick up the potions once they're ready. My plan is to enlist the help of artisans to infuse candles and fragrances with the effects of this potion. Those products will serve as complimentary gifts for customers to enjoy during wine tasting.
So you plan to make alchemical potions part of the wine drinking experience itself. Interesting. And very much in keeping with the Dawn Winery's way of doing business.
If our potion was enough to impress Master D-Luke, Paimon's sure regular customers are gonna be even more amazed!
Well, there's still work to be done, so I should probably head out. It'll take some time before we know exactly what the commercial impact of this combination will be. In any case, it's been a pleasure working with you. Here's hoping our two businesses will have a long and successful partnership. I hope those orders will keep on rolling in, for both our sakes. Oh, and if you have some time, you should stop by Angel's Share to see your masterpiece in action.
For sure! Paimon can't wait! We'll see you next time, Master D-Luke!
This scenery is wonderful. Surely enough to convince anyone to become a wanderer. There are leaves around. And I know just the tune to accompany them, if you wish to hear it.
Ad Astra Abyssosk. Welcome to the Adventurers Guild. Thank you for completing today's commissions. Here is your reward.
This realm is truly beginning to thrive. I cannot help but be stirred. If you ever have any questions about the realm within, you may ask me.
I'm here. Please, go ahead. Thank you for remembering its name. To explain it, I'll need to tell you a really, really old story I once read in a picture book. So once upon a time, in a faraway seaside town, there lived a black and white bird. Since birth, it spoke with a stutter, walked with a wobble, and was unable to fly, so it was always bullied by the other birds. Until one day, greedy pirates stole a jewel-studded diadem from the underwater palace. In a flash, lightning and thunder engulfed the sea, and a tsunami rose from the depths, threatening to wipe out the entire town. The black and white bird tried to leap upwards, but it still couldn't fly. In its recklessness, it crashed against the mast and sank into the ocean alongside the wrecked ship. The seabirds flying overhead thought it would drown right then and there, but to their surprise, it began to swim like the swiftest of fish. It swam and swam until its strength finally gave out. It restored the diadem to its rightful place underwater, and immediately, the storms died down, and it was as if nothing bad had ever happened. As you've probably guessed by now, the bird in the story was named Pear. It was a penguin that came to town by accident. I've always admired the pair in the story, but after reading it, what struck me the most was its loneliness. So I decided to stick close and hug Pear, so we can keep each other warm.
Exiting standby mode. Sorry, I am not trying to ignore you. It just takes some time to get my systems back up and running. Good night. Entering standby mode.
Oh hey, you're back. So, how goes the journey? Give me all the details. Night. Try not to kick off all your covers, okay? See you tomorrow.
Huh? Looking for me at this hour of the day? This falls outside of my predictions. Is something the matter? It's already time for you to turn in. If you ask me, there's never enough time in a day. Good night. Yes, go replenish your strength.
Hello. If you'd like to speak with me, then you'll have to cough up some Mora first. Just kidding, just kidding. I just wanted to see how you'd react, that's all. I most certainly would. The question is, have you brought enough Mora? Because Mora is the loveliest thing in the whole world. And I don't want to lose anything precious to me again due to a lack of Mora. Never again. Anyway, Mora can solve most of life's problems. And if you ever find a problem that Mora can't fix, just try doubling the amount you're offering. So, work hard and cherish every Mora you make. That way, I can stay by your side and keep earning Mora from you forever. Well, what are you waiting for? Get out there and chase that Mora!
Take your pick. You'll find no second-rate items at Wagner's.
Wherever in this world I roam, I carry memories of my home. This blade. It is the last link I have to the land of my birth. Wherever in this world I roam. I carry
Oh, you're here.
Chiori! How are the new outfits coming along? You look kinda tired.
Just a few steps left now. I've handed the rest over to Olaf. We should be able to make tonight's show.
Wow, that's cutting it real close. Are you sure she'll be okay without you?
Don't worry. I have no intention of giving ground on either front. With the fashion show scheduled for tonight, Uter has closed his factory.
This is our only chance to secure any incriminating evidence.
Okay, Paimon totally gets that this is all his fault and he totally deserves it, but wouldn't we technically be trespassing on his property if we just barge in like this?
His factory is usually open to the public. It may not be open for business right now, but that doesn't mean visitors can stop by for a tour. We're just curious customers after all, aren't we?
Well, when you put it that way...
Anyway, Uter's factory is right over there. Let's hurry up and get moving.
Why would he open a factory over there?
We have different marketing strategies. While I specialize in high-end custom garments, he prefers low prices and large sales volumes. I don't know. Maybe the rent here is cheap.
Alright. It's really creepy. Paimon would never choose to buy anything from a place like that.
You make a good point. Let's all be on our guard.
This world is full of unsolved mysteries.
We're in! There really is nobody here.
Welcome, dear visitors.
Oh, Paimon nearly fell out of the air. What is that thing?
A mechanical guide. They usually use a recorded tape to give you a tour of the factory.
Please, follow me, dear guests. First stop on our tour is a look at the gradual evolution of our clothing brand. After that, we welcome you to peruse our most popular styles.
Huh. Wotair seems to be doing pretty well for himself, doesn't he? Why would he feel the need to bother you when he could just focus on improving his own brand?
This is the studio where our designs are made. Please, take a look around at your leisure.
Yep, this seems like Wotair's workspace, all right. Let's see what we can find.
These are the fitting rooms. Please use them at your leisure.
Huh? There seems to be something in this fitting room. Why did the door just close?
Hold on tight, Paimon.
Why is it moving?
It seems to have stopped.
Where did this thing take us?
It seems like we're someplace deeper inside the factory.
Look out! There are guards here!
Illusion shattered!
Gather!
Clouds high. The birds call. Wind strider. Shine down.
Let's go, Tomato. Delicate as silk.
This place is filthy! Are the clothes from Uter's shop seriously made here?
Look over there.
Ugh! That water looks super nasty! Oh, Paimon can smell the stench from all the way over here.
And I was the one using unsafe materials, Uter?
So he was actually the one who opened an underground factory.
No wonder his clothes always felt weird to the touch. He's been using all manner of tricks here in a bid to cut costs.
Should the clothes made here even be worn?
Never mind issues with shrinking and fading. These materials can give you skin problems if you wear them too often.
That's terrifying! Let's take some photos right away as evidence. This way he won't be able to try and deny anything in court. Alright, let's keep going. Huh? Doesn't look like there's a path here.
Follow me. Let's go up.
This place seems like some kind of warehouse. Ugh, and it stinks too. Huh? What's going on? Our way in's been blocked.
Seems like he knew we'd be coming.
You did say he knew you really well, didn't you?
Yes. And that's because we used to be partners.
But you're practically at each other's throats! Now you're telling us you used to work together?
When I first came to Fontaine, we were both fledgling designers who longed to gain a foothold in the world of fashion. We shared the same goal, so we decided to work together. In the beginning, we both wanted to make clothes that would stand out from the crowd and shatter tradition. The kind of clothes that would turn heads and leave people in awe. But with every criticism we received, and every sponsor that rejected us, Uter's confidence disappeared little by little. Finally, right before Fashion Week, he came to the conclusion that we wouldn't be able to make the designs we always dreamed of, and we parted ways. For my part, I gambled it all, and devoted everything I had to that 1 week. I came out the other side with something that really made me proud. I was nervous to present it, of course, but I knew it was my chance to show the industry what I was made of. In the end, well...
You received the acclaim of all Fontaine while Uter gave up on his dream and turned to making this sketchy stuff.
I don't know the exact details of what happened after that. All I know is, after I opened Chiore Boutique, he's harassed me every year since.
He's just jealous of what you've accomplished. A guy like that doesn't deserve your sympathy.
Well, let's focus on getting out of here first. Missing the show is as good as letting him win.
There are some control panels over there. Let's see if any of those buttons do anything. Oh, that doesn't seem to have done anything. Maybe try the next one? That didn't do anything either.
Warning, warning. Unauthorized intruders entering expulsion mode.
Order.
Warning. Unauthorized intruders entering expulsion mode.
Disruptive color. Scatter!
Warning. Warning. Unauthorized intruders entering expulsion mode.
There is no escape!
Go!
Warning. Warning. Unauthorized intruders entering expulsion mode.
Wipe out!
Look over there. Seems like they're...
Warning. Warning. Unauthorized intruders entering expulsion mode. 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 Warning. Warning. Unauthorized intruders entering expulsion mode.
We finally made it out. Why does it feel like the movement patterns of those mechs have changed?
Warning. Warning. Unauthorized intruders initiating shutdown procedure. Warning. Warning. Unauthorized intruders initiating shutdown procedure. Warning. Warning. unauthorized intruders. Initiating shutdown procedure. Warning, 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 warning. Unauthorized intruders. Initiating shutdown procedure.
We're finally out of that stinky place. Let's take this evidence and get out of here. Finally, the entrance! At last!
Oh, those chambers couldn't hold you, I see. What a surprise.
We've collected a bunch of evidence on all the nasty stuff happening at your factory. You're not getting away this time, Uter.
The evidence on your person, you mean? What makes you think I have any intention of letting it get past these walls?
More mechanical guards? Really? Ever thought about using these funds for a legitimate purpose?
Oh, but this is a legitimate purpose.
What? Destroying Chioria Boutique? Or continuing to make your rotten rags?
Proving that fashion is merely a laughable farce. A carnival of ignorance!
You know what your problem is, Uter? You've become so obsessed with the concept of fashion itself that you let it paralyze you. Stop trying to cater to it. Focus on your own work, and you get to decide what fashion means.
Spare me the lecture, why don't you? Sooner or later, you'll cater to all the voices too, you know. After all, what is fashion but another form of public opinion?
Fashion is about aspiring towards a certain ideal. But it's up to you to decide what it is. My brand caters to no one but myself and my vision. That's my ideal, and it's not going to change.
Well, once the people witness their former darling's spectacular fall, they'll understand how laughable that ideal truly is.
That's what you've been trying to prove all this time? Your jaded understanding of the industry is the reason you've had it out for my brand for so long? You weren't like this before, Uter. What happened to the man who wanted to make something that would bring the entire world to its knees?
He realized long ago how utterly naive and ridiculous that dream was.
You gave up on your dream, but that wasn't enough, was it? You had to find a way to prove to yourself that it could never have been possible at all. You think you understand, but you're just a bitter man who let his regrets dictate his choices. You regret giving up on your dream. So you stopped at nothing to prove to yourself that it wasn't the wrong choice. This whole thing, Uter. It's pathetic.
Pathetic? Why don't you take a look in the mirror? You're a fool daydreaming about taking all of Teyvat by storm. Well, good luck doing that when even Fontaine doesn't have a place for you anymore.
You're right. Maybe all those who pursue their dreams are fools. But more pitiful still are cowards who are too afraid to even attempt what the fool is brave enough to try.
You...
Yeah, just leave this guy to us!
No, you go instead.
But he has a gun!
It'll be fine. Just go to the venue and tell everyone to proceed with the plan. I'll deal with him. Some lessons are best delivered in person.
Catch up with us soon!
Trying to leave, are we?
I've held back all this time because of our past partnership, Uter. But all that changed after our tour of your factory.
Still trying to talk tough, I see.
No matter what you've been through, no matter why you've become like this. If I may borrow the words of a friend, a guy like you doesn't deserve my sympathy. Allow me to show you the true meaning of the Chioria brand. The Chioria brand represents more than a person or a trademark. It's a way of life.
Greetings, friends at Fontaine Fashion Week. Please feast your eyes on the extravaganza that Chioria Boutique has prepared for you today.
Brilliant, dazzling, and wholly unique. And most importantly,
an enduring, never-say-die spirit. That's the true meaning of the Chioria brand. And now, let's welcome the thundering seamstress, Miss Chiori herself!
Did Chiori not...
Lights! Cameras! Over here, please!
Let the show begin!
the world may change, fashion along with it, but Chioria will remain the same. No challenge is too great. Chioria caters to no one. Not even the times. Rather, Chioria will always lead the fashion of our time. Finally, let's not forget. Only those who do not give up on their dreams are worthy of this brand. Well then, I suppose all that's left to say is, Happy Fashion Week, fellow dreamers.
How about this?
A little more to the left.
Like this?
Perfect.
Phew. Oh, that looks great!
Miss Chiori, can I take a picture?
Of course.
I didn't know you'd make a brand new signboard.
I made it before Fashion Week. I figured it'd be best to put it up after the success of the show.
Well, how can you become renowned through all of Teyvat without a fancy signboard of your own? The Spina's way ahead of you in that regard.
Now that you mention it, perhaps our magic troupe could use one of those.
Our signatures are the Grinmalkin Cat and the Bogglecat box. Oh, and we need to add Pear as well.
Pear would need an alias, of course. How about... the Hangry Bird.
So, does that mean your signboard is going to be 2 cats and a penguin stuffed into a single hat?
Ooh, that sounds super snuggly and warm.
And a bit cramped.
Miss Chiori, I'm done taking pictures. You can expect the article in tomorrow's Steambird, along with the evidence the Traveler gathered.
Thank you, Charlotte.
It's my pleasure. Bringing the truth to light is a journalist's duty.
Going forward, feel free to custom order any accessories you need for Monsieur Verite. It's on the house.
Huh? You really mean it?
Of course. The same goes for you too, Linny and Lynette. If you have need of any costumes in the future, just drop me a note.
What about something other than a costume?
Thank you, Chiori. It's much appreciated.
Well, I don't really need anything. Just don't be a stranger, all right?
I don't need anything either. So long as you continue to request my international courier services from Komania Express, we're golden.
Actually, that reminds me. When will you be leaving, Kirara?
Huh? About that.
The Spina di Rosula has prepared a special vehicle for you, so you can just get in and we'll push it all the way out of Fontaine.
What? No, that's so embarrassing. Ooh, do we get something nice too, Chiori?
Of course. Just hold on a second.
Disrupting public order at the show. Appropriating venue lighting equipment without authorization. Using weaponry in public. Hosting a dangerous performance without notifying the authorities.
Shivers, we can explain!
If you come across anyone who matches those descriptions, please report them to the Special Patrol at your earliest convenience.
Enjoyed that, didn't you? You nearly scared me half to death.
Says the one who pulled that stunt earlier. How about you do me a favor and tell me in advance next time you're planning something like that?
And if I had, would you have approved?
No, but it would have at least spared me a whole lot of anxiety.
Well, I would say I more than made it up to you, have I not? A whole underground workshop in the Fleuve Cendre, and the man responsible all tied up and handed to you on a silver platter. Sounds pretty thoughtful if you ask me.
All right, I won't argue with you. You can have this one.
Well, friends, I would say we've earned ourselves a nice meal for our efforts. Let's go. Spina's treat.
I'll have to take a rain check. I've still got a lot of paperwork to take care of, so you all go have fun. Oh, by the way, Chiori, I ran into Vanger on the way here. He had a message for you.
I don't need to hear it. I'm sure the old fool used pretty much every apology in the book. I'll just visit him some other day and give him a hard time about everything.
You know him well.
Thanks again, Chevres.
My pleasure. Oh, and one last thing. That was really quite an amazing show.
You don't say.
All right. Follow me if you want in on the celebration feast. Come on, we're leaving.
Traveler, Paimon, could you go wait for me at that place with the view? I'll let Navia know that we'll be a little late. There's something I'd like to give you.
A place with a view? Oh, Paimon knows where you mean. Sure, no problem.
Perfect. I'll be right there.
So hard to pick the perfect gift.
Sorry to keep you waiting.
Oh, we didn't wait long at all. But what did you want to give us that you couldn't share right in front of everyone else?
Here, take this.
Oh, wow! A brooch! And in the style of Chioria Boutique, too! Wait, Paimon gets one as well?
I've only made 2 for now. After much consideration, I decided to give them to you two. You've been a great help. Even when things were looking bleak, you stayed by my side. There were even times when I felt like I had to fight back and win, even if it was just to honor the trust that you had in me.
Well, we may have helped a little, but Paimon would say you deserve most of the credit. This result, it was all you, Chiori.
I know for certain that was not the case. I've chased my dream for so long that I've come to understand something. Apart from conviction and persistence, the thing that matters most is having friends who believe in you even when you don't believe in yourself. A single person can only do so much. Without all your help, Chioria Boutique could have easily fallen to ruin.
Well, Paimon doesn't think it would have ever gotten to that point. Not if you had anything to say about it. But, about the stuff you said at the show, you aren't worried it'll rub some people the wrong way?
Perhaps my words were a little pretentious, but they do reflect how I truly feel. I won't bow or scrape before any force in this world, much less any individual. I'm confident in the quality of my work. Create something beautiful, and there will always be people who appreciate it.
Well, guess there's nothing to worry about then. Should we go back and join them at the victory feast?
Oh, yes, of course. But before that, I'd like to admire the view for just a little while longer. You know, of all the nights I've spent in Fontaine, I'd say this is the loveliest by far.
Oh, a merchant is here. Paimon's not sure they're from Mondstadt, though. Let's go check it out.
Hello there. The name's Atafe. I am a traveling merchant from Sumeru. Great to meet you.
Whoa, you've made quite the journey! Guess news of our humble shop has already spread to all four corners of Teyvat!
I have to agree. This venture of yours is becoming quite well known. In fact, many well-informed merchants have heard word of your potion-selling endeavor. But most people are still not willing to take a risk on such a rare commodity. If you ask me, though, when the opportunity knocks, you've got to be ready to answer. That's how you make the big Mora. Although the general public still doesn't know much about alchemical potions right now, with a little effort and marketing on your side, you can carve out a nice space in the market for yourself. Once that happens, the Mora will just keep on flowing. Once you've generated enough demand, you could even increase your prices tenfold. With that kind of profit, you could even take the rest of the year off if you wanted.
Tenfold? Are you serious?
As long as the demand is there, people will pay anything. You could say it's a sort of mutual agreement between consumer and supplier.
With the way you talk, Paimon can't help but be reminded of a certain other Mora-obsessed merchant. Wait, you did say you were from Sumeru. Maybe you know her. Ever met Dory?
Wait, you mean Lord Sangama Bay? One of the most famous merchants in all of Sumeru? That Dory? You know her? Wow! Lord Sangama Bay is one of my biggest idols! Her business sense and dedication to making Mora has always been one of my greatest inspirations. I was even lucky enough to visit the Palace of Alcazarzare once. It truly is a magnificent sight. One day, I hope to be just like her. Up to my ears in more Mora than I can count!
Looks like we lost her. Should Paimon snap her out of it? Or...
Thank you. That means a lot. Back to where we were then. I believe I was telling you how we can make some big Mora together. The idea is actually pretty simple. You produce the potions, provide me with a regular supply, and I'll help you sell them across Teyvat. If that sounds good to you, then we should talk more in depth about what kinds of potions to sell this time around. According to my keen market sense, these are the kinds of potions that are currently in demand.
Hi, you two. It's been a while, hasn't it?
Oh, you're back! Wait, that must mean there's a new exam!
Yep. It's time for the advanced exam. This one will be harder than previous exams, but I'm sure you'll do just fine.
If we don't pass this time, it'll be super embarrassing!
Don't worry too much about that. Lots of things in life require a couple tries before you get it right. When I first started working as Mr. Albedo's assistant, all sorts of unexpected things would go wrong during my experiments. For example, when I was studying the properties of mist flowers, I accidentally froze all the equipment in the lab. I basically turned them into ice sculptures. Our precision instruments were nearly ruined beyond repair. Another time, I had let a reagent boil for a little bit too long, and all the precious ingredients inside got charred to pieces. The smell was so bad, several nights passing by thought the lab had caught fire. Back then, I would get really hard on myself whenever things went wrong. But eventually I realized that, in order to make new discoveries, you have to accept the risk of failure. A fear of making mistakes will prevent you from truly going after what it is that you want.
You're absolutely right! Hey, you're actually really good at motivating people!
It's just my experience talking. I've spent a lot of time doing research in the lab after all. Anyway, as long as you try, you'll learn something valuable from the experience. Alright, whenever you're ready, we can go ahead and proceed with the advanced exam. breeze through the advanced exam. Ever thought about helping out around the lab?
Drop everything and pursue the path of an alchemy master? Huh. What do you say, Traveler?
If we work together, I'm sure we can make something super amazing.
By super amazing, do you mean you already have something in mind?
Well, in the past, my research was mainly focused on the study of plants. But this experience has shown me that potions can have all kinds of effects on people as well. So, I started thinking, what if potions could have an even greater effect on people? Like, what if they could be used to help people unlock their hidden potential? A memory-enhancing potion, for example, could help people memorize a whole library's worth of knowledge in a single breath. Alternatively, a strength-enhancing potion could make it so that Paimon could take down an Abyss Mage all on her own.
Whoa. Paimon didn't know you could make potions like that! Sounds awesome!
Well, it's certainly theoretically possible. Alchemy is, in itself, a way to explore the unknown. It's a discipline with endless potential. In fact, current research has barely scratched the surface of what's possible with alchemy. Theory, though, is always easier than practice. And with alchemy, there are simply too many things that you have to take into consideration. Just off the top of my head, there's the theory of sublimation, the potion's mechanism of action, and the innate metabolism of the person consuming the potion.
Paimon didn't quite catch all that.
My bad. We can talk about the details some other time. If you're interested, just stop by the lab.
Sweet! Watch out, world! With a cool potion from Sucrose, Paimon will be able to become the strongest guide in Teyvat in no time!
Well, I'll be off then. Only one more exam to go. I imagine you and I will both have some final preparations to make.
you